Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Friday Sit Rep. As you probably noticed, I am not in studio this week, and that's because Mother Nature decided to bless us with like 15 inches of snow up here in Minnesota. So a lot of the team has actually been remote and balancing work along with snow removal. So it's been kind of a fun week from that regard, but it's going to take more than a little bit of snow to stop us from kicking out some new releases. So we do have the Australian Abrams pre-order available. It does include that optional modern infantry soldier upgrade as well. So you can choose whether or not you want to add that, and then you can use promo code DROPDAY to save yourself 15% on that pre-order all weekend long. We also have the modern U.S. Air Force Ground Crew V2, so that is available as a standalone minifigure, and then a couple other offerings as well. But like I said, main focus of this week is the Australian Abrams pre-order. So without further ado, I'll kick it on over to Dan and take a little closer look at this build.
Greetings from sunny Florida. It's the last day in the design room, the new design room, before I head back to HQ, brave the snowstorm. That's the snowpocalypse they're predicting on my way home. But Dylan wanted me to get you a video of this new M1A1 Abrams before I hit the road. This is actually the tank that will be coming out this Friday. The colors are different though. This is just tan. I just basically rebuilt earlier a conglomeration of all the earlier Abrams designs. I did some updating, of course, but didn't want to start from scratch because we've already had, this is like Abrams number 7, I think, that Brickmania's released, or will be number 7. Maybe it's even 8. I can't remember. I've lost count. We've done so many of them. But each time we do it, we kind of base it off the previous one and improve and make better. This one, the hull for this one, I started with the previous M1A2 that Mary Wilson had put together. I did some changes. For one, this is an M1A1, so there's a little bit, the stowage and the turret is a little bit different. And this one's Australian, which makes it even more unique. It has different stowage just because it's an Australian pattern. Of course, they want to have it their own way. The main things that I did, I reverted it back to the 2 wide tracks. Did that basically because I'm a little bit more confident that the tracks that we have now will function a lot better. They seem to be mechanically more sound than our earlier version, or at least the last version that we had. So tracks are improved. I did while I was at working suspension. So let's see, you can push down on the suspension. There's a video on my Instagram of me rolling it across my hands, and that's going to be standard for all Brickmania bigger tanks going forward, just because we crossed that threshold and now we're going to stick with it. Another thing about this is this Abrams, you'll see that does have a slightly, it's the similar turret, slightly modified. Stowage is different. I did change up, not only did I change up the tracks, I did do a little bit of changing on the hull geometry. The previous one was just a little bit too long. There's some rivet counters out there that get upset. I don't know, or we'll be prone to correct this if we get something wrong. And I just was comparing the previous version to the blueprints and realized that we were a little bit too big in both length and width. So we are about 13 bricks wide, just a hair over 13 bricks wide. Look at the overall width. That being said, it's not really that much different from the previous one. It is and it isn't. The previous one was a little bit wider to make accommodation for the Lego 2.5 wide tracks, but this is our 2 wide track links, Brickmania track links. It does roll pretty well. The one thing that this has, this is not the right colors. I just did a tan one just to get the base model down. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to start tearing it apart and doing it in color. The only problem is I'm going to have to hit the road probably before it's finished. So here we are doing it in tan. Last model did feature a removable turbine engine. That was my request when we did the last update, and Mary did a great job with it. So the back of it does open up like the real thing. You take the deck off, and there you have the turbine in there. The turbine does come out, so we could get our wrecker out here, pull this thing out, and do an engine swap like they would do in the field. So I just wanted to make sure that people realize that feature was in there. I don't even know if a lot of people knew that the previous Abrams had that, because we haven't really been doing a lot of feature animations like we used to. Let's see. So that's there. That's still inside. The turret, the turret still has a turret basket, so there is a basket underneath this thing. Let me see if I can pull it off using one hand, not just totally trashing my phone. I'm going to lean this up here. Let me do this. I'm knocking everything all over the place. Ah, there we go. So, okay, 1 second while I grab my phone again. So there is a turret basket underneath this one. I had to truncate it. If you saw the last one, you'll know that there's a slightly longer turret basket in it. I had to do that because the suspension takes up a bit of space inside the hull. So it does have, I guess it would be comparable. I mean, the real tank has torsion bar suspension. That's pretty much what we did on this thing. So when you push on one of the wheels, it will bounce back, and that's not just gravity. That's actually a spring holding it in place. So just like the real thing, torsion bar suspension. So coolio with that. You can squish it. You can put it down. Imagine riding this thing. It'd be like a Cadillac going across the desert. Although a very big and heavy Cadillac. Well, I guess that goes with the Cadillac theme anyway. So turret on. The tank will come with 2 Australian crewmen. Of course, I have the test ninjas in here to simulate, just to test it. I have a looks like M249. I think it's going to have an M240 gun on here, and of course M2HB, which will be right about here. Don't have that, just don't have one with me. This thing's coming back to Minnesota. Oh, of course. Looking at my phone, handling it with my eyes and handling it with my hands is not a good recipe. Always knocking stuff off. But there's a quick overview of it. It does have its normal features. The turret does rotate all the way around. Gun depresses and elevates. I mean, it depresses like an unrealistic amount, but that's, what am I going to do? Put something in there just to stop it? I think you can use your common sense and pose it how you feel fit. Hopefully I'll have another video of this. Look at my Instagram if you want to see an update once it starts getting into colors. The colors are these. This is what I'm planning on using. This is a Lego Olive, which is a pretty limited color, parts availability, a limited palette. Middle one here is dark brown. I mean, you can look at this photo and see that it's not the same as the American, especially this sort of tan color. So I'm going to be using this medium nougat to simulate the tan color as best I can. It's almost like a pinkish red tint to a tan. I don't know. I mean, there's just nothing in Lego that's close. So I'm going to try these 3 colors. Hopefully I'll have enough pieces in all 3 colors to be able to get it done. I was doing some parts research, and they do exist for a lot of the pieces that I know I'm going to need, and everything else will just have to substitute some close approximations. But there you have it. Let me see. This table's too smooth. I won't even be able to get this thing to run. I need a third hand. I need something to hold the camera. I'm heading back to HQ, so we will be shooting a whole bunch of professional videos next week. So thanks for bearing with us this last couple of weeks while I'm down here in Florida setting up our like a southern West Coast. I don't know what you call it. The other West Coast design room. But I will be here on and off throughout the year, and I'll be back at HQ throughout the year. So gradually I'll be able to upgrade my video taking skills and my equipment, and we'll be improving this in the future. But thanks for bearing with us, and looking forward to finishing this model up and getting it out to you guys. Thanks.
All right, Brickmaniacs, that'll just about do it for me here on a Friday. Remember that we've got those California events as well as World War Brick right around the corner. All that information is now available either on the website, blog, or worldwarbrick.com. So make sure to check out any one of those places, and you should be able to find the information you need to be able to get yourself set up to come see us on the road this summer. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, and as always, thank you very much for watching.